So with that said, I'd like to get started by addressing a few logistics. Everyone's mic is muted throughout our time together. If you have any questions, please ask them within the questions pane. We will have a representative answering questions as well as a Q&A at the end. Roger Chin will be our presenter today. Roger is a field application engineer and has been with us since 2013. So with that being said, over to you, Roger.
Thank you, Brianna, and thank you everybody for taking time to attend our webinar today. So we're going to be talking about the UltraBOM tool. I hope you guys have gotten to play with it a little bit, but this is our upgrade from the part link powered by Digi-Key app that used to be in the OrCAD marketplace. That app was a nice app that allowed you to tie in Digi-Key data and pull some of the parameters from Digi-Key into your designs. We've taken that idea and expanded upon it with this UltraBOM tool now. We've provided you the access to some of our UltraLibrarian capture symbols that we've pre-built for you so you can directly place a part if you identify a part that you like from Digi-Key using UltraBOM. Once you build your design, you synchronize those parts of Digi-Key, you check the quantity available, the pricing on those parts, you can then send that BOM right to Digi-Key inside the Digi-Key shopping cart. And we can get real-time data pulled down into the design from that Digi-Key link. So we'll be diving into a lot of these features during our webinar today. But we want to emphasize to you that this is a replacement and an upgrade on what used to be the part link powered by Digi-Key. So we'll step into the OrCAD environment here. For those of you guys who haven't downloaded or installed the UltraBOM app yet, when you do so, inside your OrCAD environment, you will now have this UltraBOM drop-down menu. And when you click it, you open this UltraBOM view right down here. So let's start by placing down some parts. I've already created a prototype design here with some of my components I picked up from Digi-Key. I can go out and search for a part either by a manufacturer part number. So let's say I want a Maxim LED driver. I can search for that manufacturer part number, and I not only see the manufacturer part number from Digi-Key, but I see the different Digi-Key part numbers as well. And I can overview the minimum order quantity, the quantity on hand, as well as the unit pricing. And you can see here we have a symbol ready to be placed for this part. But let's dive a little bit into more of the details to review that part. You can see this symbol preview down here. You can see additional information that, if you want, can be mapped into your schematic. And if you're ready, you can simply hit Place Part and take that data, push it right onto your schematic, adding that part very quickly. So that was a manufacturer part number search. I can also search for parts from Digi-Key using keywords. If I'm looking for a linear regulator, I can search with those keywords and see what is available to me from Digi-Key and pick out a part to use as well. So here I can grab a part from TI and place it right down onto my schematic as well. And we'll see that the parts I've placed down right here have a link between my schematic and this UltraBOM app. I can take any line in UltraBOM here and right-click on it to cross-probe to that symbol in my schematic, and vice versa. If I right-click on the part in the schematic, I can go into my More drop-down button and find that part inside UltraBOM. And you can see the status is now synchronized for this manufacturer part number to Digi-Key. So we can then very quickly take this whole prototype design and generate a BOM out of it. We can select our parts. We can push this out to a CSV file if we desire. But even quicker, we can go directly to the Digi-Key website. When we click on that shopping cart symbol, it will load our components onto the Digi-Key shopping cart for us and give us a quote for how much our board might cost. So you can see here each of the components that I've picked out and the quantity to match what was on my design have been specified for me. I can go through and look and verify my parts. And down at the very bottom now, I'll see a quote from my prototype design from Digi-Key. So the UltraBOM tool is great for building new prototype designs. You can easily go out and pick out parts. And you also have that link directly to the product page for your components if those parts are from TE Connectivity or from Texas Instruments. You can click right on them and see their webpage. Alrighty. Now, most of the time when you're working inside OrCAD Capture, you might not be starting a fresh design. If you have a legacy design that you're building up, for example, I'm going to go to Maxim's reference designs here, and we worked with them with UltraLibrarian to build OrCAD designs that are ready for you to download. I can pick out this flyback, DC-DC flyback converter, and I can simply hit download here, and I can pull in and download from UltraLibrarian and from the Maxim product designs a copy of a reference design to open right inside OrCAD Capture. And I've already done that for you to show you what it would look like to take a whole reference design here that has been pre-built for me, but has not had the data tied to Digi-Key. So I simply need to hit a refresh button so that now it's going to run UltraBOM onto this design. And now I can see there are parts here that I have not yet synchronized to my Digi-Key data. I've done the work of some of these other components to save us a little time, but we can sort and go by any category here and find all the parts that I have not yet associated with a Digi-Key part number. And it's very quick to do this. I can simply hit on this button and it will go and do a part search for that component for me. Now, by default, it will look for certain fields to search from Digi-Key. So here, it's only searching by 10 microfarad because it was not able to map this manufacturer part number field inside UltraBOM. You guys might see that because your components, let's say if you take a look at a part here, they call their manufacturer part number MFG underscore part number. So in order for us to properly map that part to Digi-Key, we need to go into the settings option inside UltraBOM. So in this view in UltraBOM, and I'll make it a little bigger for you guys, you'll see a couple of things. We have our UltraLibrarian account login that we need to put in here in order to be able to grab those capture schematic symbols along with the Digi-Key part. And then here, these are the key fields that are used by UltraBOM to search Digi-Key. So these are coming from your schematic. In this case, we don't have it called manufacturer part number. When we hit the drop down, we're able to see that MFG underscore part number, and these are all fields coming from our schematic symbols. Instead is the name of that property. So we can map it to that instead, and then we can save that change. So now when I do that part search for that part, and I check the status, it searches by, instead of using the value, it searches exactly for that manufacturer part number right there. And now I can hit update part and push that data right into my component. So that's not just tying it inside UltraBOM. If we use that cross probe again, look at C1, we can take a look at the properties and we can see now that Digi-Key part number, that manufacturer part number is tied right into this component. And the description has been updated to match Digi-Keys as well. So it's real-time live data that we're tying to your schematic. So let's go and continue for this process. We're taking this reference design and we're going to tie each of the parts that don't have a Digi-Key part number to one from Digi-Key. So when we search here, note that this field has 3 manufacturer part numbers. We can only currently in UltraBOM tie to 1 manufacturer part number. So let's search for that by itself. And we can use one of these chemical capacitors that we found. And we can update multiple now. So you can see if it identifies multiple parts that map to this manufacturer part number, we can select update multiple And we don't have to do that process for each of those capacitors here, C22, C28, and C2. I can update them all at once to the desired Digi-Key part number. And you can see that data has now been mapped in here. And I can go through and find any other components that need to do the synchronization. So here I have 2 more capacitors with 10 microfarad. Let's take care of those. And again, we can only search by one manufacturer part number at a time. But we can use the update multiple to update all the 10 microfarad capacitors we have on this design. And we should review them, make sure that the parts we want to update. And when we hit update here, it pushes that data right into UltraBOM for us. So let's go and take care of a couple more parts, and then we can order right from Digi-Key. So here we view 3, this optical isolator, and we can go and use that mapping, and it searches for this exact manufacturer part number, and it finds it on Digi-Key. We see how much is available. We can update that part. Let's use that technique I showed earlier. I can now select this part and use the more and find it inside UltraBOM, and then do this thing that way. So you can drive it from the schematic level or from that design view inside UltraBOM. So here's that flyback regulator, and we can take this part and update with the data we need. So now almost all of our components here have been synchronized to Digi-Key. You'll notice some of them have a yellow because in our schematic, the reference design listed multiple manufacturer part numbers, but again, with UltraBOM, we tie it to one single Digi-Key part number here. But at this point, we're ready to take this whole BOM and go out and send it to Digi-Key again, and we're able to see all of our components that we picked out from this reference design, and in a matter of 15-20 minutes, populate them with Digi-Key parts, and we can order that right away. So here, Digi-Key is just telling us that if we order 2 more capacitors, it'll actually save us some money. We can do that if we want to. And now we can see, again, all the components that we've tied to that part, for each part by part to Digi-Key, and they're ready to be purchased using the Digi-Key shopping cart. And that data is not just a one-time use. I can always open up this design again inside of UltraBOM, simply hit this refresh button, and I'll get the latest stock and the latest pricing information right at an overview look inside my design. Alrighty, so I'm gonna pass this back off to Brianna. I believe we're gonna do some Q&A questions.
Thank you, Roger. Yeah, so at this time, if you have any questions, you can enter them into the questions pane. We'll start off with the question, what if I have multiple users? How do we share this data between us?
So UltraBOM is designed to be run as a personal prototyping tool. You're running it on each of your client OrCAD machines. The nice thing is, if you have UltraBOM on multiple users' machines and you take a design, again, because as we've shown here, the components now carry that Digi-Key part number. So if one of your engineers uses UltraBOM, does all this mapping, you can simply open up that design in UltraBOM on another machine, and you can run this refresh again, and you'll see the latest information. You don't have to do the mapping twice. But if you want to be able to share data at a real database level, we have other tools called CIS and CIP that are really designed for sharing data and working together in that way. Good question.
Thank you. So which versions of OrCAD is compatible with UltraBOM?
I believe OrCAD Captures 17.2 and 17.4 both support UltraBOM currently. Those are the 2 versions.
Okay. How can I share data downloaded using UltraBOM?
So if you want to create a bill of materials, again, you can create a bill of material report this way with UltraBOM, but we highly recommend having all your engineers have UltraBOM inside their OrCAD environments so that you do the mapping once and you can see that real live data by using a refresh whenever you open up your design. So that's the best way of sharing that design if you're using UltraBOM. Again, there's other component database systems that have direct links to Digi-Key as well, like CIP, that will handle that in a more centralized way.
Okay. If I have CIS tied to Agile, how can I use UltraBOM?
So you can use UltraBOM for prototyping alongside a CIS database. You can have CIS be working with your centralized approved parts, and you can still use UltraBOM to find new parts for prototyping and adding parts in that way. But really, again, CIS and Agile serve a more centralized database level management, whereas UltraBOM is designed to be used for prototyping and more user by user on each of their own machines.
Let's see what other questions we have here. Can we load our in-house inventory to see what we need to order?
I would highly recommend using our CIP tool there if you're going to be managing any kind of inventory or in stock, what's in stock in-house. That's our centralized database tool. UltraBOM is designed more so for you to tie it to Digi-Key's data. But if you want to start managing your own data and centralize and improve that flow, our CIP tool really serves that purpose.
Okay. So just to clarify, someone wants to know that the app, UltraBOM app, does work with the CIS license then, right?
Yes, so UltraBOM is a free tool that you can install into OrCAD Capture. It does not require a CIS license, but it will work alongside it, yes.
Thank you. So what if a part on the schematic is not available through Digi-Key?
So if a part is not available on your schematic for Digi-Key, you'll have to go through your more traditional methods of researching that part online and manually adding in that data if you don't have our CIP tool. So again, that CIP database tool has all this data from UltraBOM because we have the link to Digi-Key for CIP as well, but we also have other distributors there, and we can have a link to Silicon Expert through CIP as well. So if you're really looking for more ways to pull in data that you can't find just from UltraBOM, we do have other tools to help you there.
Once a symbol has been placed from UltraBOM, can properties be modified and added as usual?
Yes, so the UltraBOM mapping only updates the 3 fields here that you select. So it'll update the manufacturer part number, the description, and of course the Digi-Key part number gets pulled in as well. But if you have your own footprint properties, your own 3D step model properties or status properties, those will not be affected or touched by this mapping to UltraBOM.
Thank you. Looks like we have answered most of our questions then at this point. Oh, we have another one. Sorry. Can I update my part library with UltraBOM?
So UltraBOM is designed to work with a design file, a DSN file, not so much a library file. Once you start managing if you want to start managing your data in a library file in a centralized database, again, CIP is the way to go with that. And it does have a link to Digi-Key and other distributors there. But UltraBOM is designed to work for a schematic by schematic basis.
Let's see, if the footprint property is updated by UltraBOM, how do I know what footprint the Digi-Key part needs?
So it is not updated by UltraBOM, when you synchronize that data, that Digi-Key data, to your manufacturer part number for your component, it does not touch your footprint property on that component. And of course, if you guys have used our Ultra Librarian app or the website, you'll see that you have an ability to download PCB footprints and 3D step models through Ultra Librarian. But through UltraBOM, you only get the capture symbol. So you will have to go out and grab the footprints on your own or build your own footprints. But we highly recommend using our Ultra Librarian tool for that.
Great, thank you. So with that being said, I want to thank everyone for coming today. And if we missed any questions by any chance, I don't see any in here that we didn't miss, we'll follow up with you after. And this will be recorded, so we'll distribute this after as well. And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for your time, everybody.
Thanks. Bye.